What's up, LHS? I'm Jesse.
And I'm Chandler.
All seniors will report to the auditorium at the beginning of school tomorrow morning for a senior class meeting and TN promise sign-ups. Seniors need to bring a pen and also know your social security number. Following the meeting, the seniors who turned in permission forms will be loaded onto the bus to head to Cumberland University for the college fair.
Yearbooks are on sale, and we're having a back-to-school special. Yearbooks are $65 if purchased by September 30th. Seniors, if you need to retake your senior pictures, check your school email for info.
Also, submit baby pictures, quotes, and order senior ads at lhssouvenir@gmail.com. All of these things must be completed by October 2nd. Make sure the subject line is your name. Students who did not pick up their IDs need to come by 8303 between classes to get it.
We would like to congratulate one of our Blue Devils, Hayden Belcher. After years of hard work, many hours of community service, and dedication to our serving and leadership roles, Hayden was earned the rank of Eagle Scout. Hayden now joins outstanding Americans such as moon landing astronaut Neil Armstrong, film director Steven Spielberg, and former President of the United States Gerald Ford.
Now that school is in full swing, testing is as well. The ASVAB will be given on Thursday, September 26th. All sophomores, juniors, and seniors are eligible to take the test. The test is completely free and a great way to find out what careers may be a good fit after high school. All interested students must sign up in guidance by this Friday, September 20th.
Sophomores and juniors, yesterday was the last day to sign up for the PSAT. You may bring the $16 cash or check to guidance or pay online by September 27th. You may be wondering why you should take this test. Juniors who score high enough on the PSAT may qualify as National Merit Scholar, and sophomores, you better have your chance of getting a higher score than you may take on the test.
And last but not least, the last day to register for the October 26th National ACT is this Friday, September 20th. However, late registration is available until October 4th. See guidance or visit act.org for more information. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after these words about the women's suffrage movement and learn what the Seneca Falls Convention was about.
This year marks the 100th anniversary of United States women winning the right to vote. In August of 1920, Tennessee gave women across the nation something they had worked to achieve for 72 years and 3 generations: suffrage.
Tennessee became the 36th state to ratify the 19th Amendment on August 18, 1920. This legislation created a 3/4 majority needed to amend the United States Constitution, and on August 26, the amendment became law, which gave suffrage to more than 27 million women across the nation.
The Seneca Falls Convention. The 1848 Seneca Falls Convention was the very first women's rights convention in the United States, kicking off a decades-long struggle for gender equality. Here, we'll tell the story of the Seneca Falls Convention and its lasting legacy, a story that started with a tea party. But we'll get into all that in just a minute. First, we have to understand the traditional 19th century gender roles. Men dominated the public sphere by working, voting, or participating in politics, while women stayed home to cook, clean, and raise children. There were restrictions in many states on women voting, owning property, and having control of their own income. One woman who advocated for women's rights in the 19th century was Elizabeth Cady Stanton, a homemaker in Seneca Falls, New York. Born into a progressive family, Stanton grew up highly educated and enjoyed an active social and political life before settling down with a family. But Stanton felt stifled as just a wife and mother to 7 children, longing for a life outside the home. She soon found it in a local group of Quaker women who embraced equality, community, and activism. They invited her to a small social gathering, a tea party, which included a Quaker activist named Lucretia Mott. Mott and Stanton had met years before at an anti-slavery convention in London, but they were denied entry due to their gender. It was during the tea party that Stanton lamented the injustice of a woman's unequal status in society. Her words resonated with the others, so the women decided to hold a gathering that would call attention to the social, civil, and religious rights of women, the first of its kind in the United States. It became known as the Seneca Falls Convention, taking place on July 19th and 20th, 1848, with over 300 people in attendance. Like Stanton and Mott, many in attendance were also active in the anti-slavery movement, including Frederick Douglass, a former slave and abolitionist who was one of the few men and the only African American to attend. At the convention, they read the Declaration of Sentiments, a document drafted by Stanton and modeled after the Declaration of Independence, declaring, "We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men and women are created equal." The sentiments outlined the civil and political rights denied to American women, which included education, property ownership, child custody in the event of a divorce, and most importantly, the right to vote. On the second day of the convention, 12 resolutions were passed and signed by 68 women and 32 men. The Seneca Falls Convention was the first time that American women demanded a change, and it caused quite a stir around the country. Many newspapers mocked them with unflattering political cartoons, while columns ridiculed the convention as dull and uninteresting or insane and ludicrous. One writer declared equal rights for women to be a monstrous injury to all mankind. The wave of negative press was too humiliating for some of the participants to handle, particularly those who had signed the Declaration of Sentiments. Several went as far as withdrawing their names from the document and joining the opposition. But public shaming didn't stop the movement. The impact and promise of the Seneca Falls Convention was undeniable. Women like Elizabeth Cady Stanton felt a renewed sense of purpose and threw themselves headlong into the fight for equal rights. A month later, a second, larger convention was held in Rochester, with the Declaration of Sentiments gaining 107 additional signatures. The Seneca Falls Convention would signal the birth of the women's rights movement. One particular resolution in the Declaration of Sentiments would evolve into a full-fledged crusade, the demand for women's suffrage. Decades of political organizing, marches, and protests would ultimately result in the 1920 passage of the 19th Amendment, which guaranteed women the right to vote, something that couldn't have happened without the Seneca Falls Convention.
As stated, the Seneca Falls Convention was the first women's rights convention in the United States. This meeting is considered the official beginning of the women's suffrage movement in the United States and is where the Declaration of Sentiments was written.
Jeff News Club will meet every first and third Thursday of the month from the 3 and 4 in the room B317. Please email Miss Moore if you have any questions. Blue Devil players and the Blue Devil and Bronson Club will have a meeting today after school. The players will meet in the auditorium and the BDN. The BDB will meet in the room B322.
We all know it's Chief 3000, but what you may not know is some of the accomplishments LHS is obtaining. During the month of August, LHS completed almost 5,000 activities at 75% or higher. In fact, Mr. Goolsby's personal finance class has the highest weekly average of activities at 1.27. The individual students with the most lifestyle growth in August were Haley Mitchell, John Murdoch, Kelly Higdon, Madison Dillon. Congratulations, guys.
Coming up, we have the 4111 about homecoming week with the info on the dress down days, parade, and more. But now, let's see some fun of our band had the Wilson County of Citizen. The band's next performance will be at this Saturday at the Station Camp and Invitational in Gallatin. LHS performs at 7. Homecoming is next week against Beach and is always exciting.
The themes for homecoming this week are Monday, Heroes vs. Villains. Tuesday, Country vs. Country Club. Wednesday, Decades Day. Seniors 90s, Juniors 80s, Sophomores 70s, and Freshmen 60s. Thursday, Out of This World. Friday, Blue and White.
The Beach Bash homecoming shirts look great this year and are on pre-sale at the bank for $17. Make sure you get them. Don't be the only person without one. Be sure to order yours today.
If your club, sports, or organization would like to participate in the parade, have your teacher fill out the Google form in Ms. Robertson's email by today. The parade and pep rally will be next Friday.
LHS Baseball is looking for a manager for the 2020 season. It must be a male and good academic standing. If you're interested, please see Coach Wakefield. This Friday, our varsity football teams takes on Harrisonville here at 7 and be televised on MyTV 30. The boys and girls basketball team will be hosting a pregame tailgate party this week before the big matchup with Hendersonville. The tailgate will be outside in the grassy area close to the field house.
We'll be having a barbecue, chips, and lots of homemade desserts. We'll also have tents set up as well as some tables and chairs and cornhole boards. But feel free to bring your own chair. Tickets are only $5 and be purchased from any boys or girls basketball team.
That's all the news we have today, LHS. I'm Chandler.
And I'm Jesse, and this has been News to You from the White and Blue.